down to the point they go away so people aren't disincentivized to return to work. Senator Chuck Grassley with us right now, the Senate Finance Committee Chairman. Mr. Chairman, always good to have you. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much. I think people want to be back to work.
Go ahead.
People feel good about quality of life, going back to work. And here we have the federal government paying them more not to work than to work. And obviously, it's not good for the economy. And particularly, it's very unfair for people that create these jobs that people want to go back for the federal government to be an unfair competitor by paying people more not to work than if you're working.
Now, a lot of those folks are saying, with the states closing down again or reimposing restrictions, they don't have that opportunity and they need this. What do you say?
Well, first of all, there's a general agreement between enough Republicans and Democrats that there ought to be some continuation of some help beyond what the federal unemployment would do. So there's no dispute about there ought to be something on top of what an individual state would do, but it shouldn't be so much that you're getting paid for not working than if you're working. So that's all we have to agree to. And I think it's the Democrats have to realize that they're going to have to start working for the American people and quit playing politics with this. We heard, I think it was Whip Hoyer of the Democrat House that said maybe a week, 10 days ago, that there was plenty of room to compromise below 600. We haven't seen any of that movement on the part of Pelosi and Schumer at this point, and that's a shame because, you know, there are so many things between the Pelosi bill and the Senate bill that we put down a week ago that are similar. And so there's a lot that can be agreed to. There's no reason one or two things could be holding this up from moving ahead. And then there's also the point that if we can't get a comprehensive agreement, some of this stuff can lay over until September. But on the unemployment and on helping K through 12 education and helping people not being evicted are three things that we ought to get done this week, and there ought to be a way of helping people. Because right now, and then I'll stop with this. All you have to do is go back to Iowa like I am every weekend, and you hear all about, I can't hire people, I can't hire people, I can't hire people because you and the government. So they get on me about it, paying more people not to work than to work. And it doesn't meet the common sense.
So let me ask you then, Senator, what about some of the other features in it? It sounds like there is a bridge here to way either to keep benefits going, albeit at a lower rate, and maybe phase them out. But there's also talk of more stimulus checks, $1,200 stimulus checks. Are you for that?
If that's what it takes to get an agreement, I'm for it. I don't think it's needed. But if that's what held it up and my vote made a difference, I would vote for it because the overall need of reestablishing confidence in the American people that because the government shut down the economy 3 months ago, we have a responsibility to open it up.
So let me ask you real quickly, sir, I know you're very patient here, that Steve Moore has an interesting column today where he's talking about the president imposing via executive order a one-time payroll tax cut. I think he says he would limit it to those with income of $75,000 or less, and that the president could do that. I don't know if he can do that, sir, but would you be for that?
Well, if we wrote a tax law that allowed him to do it, Congress's negligence in its enactment of legislation, and if we did it, we probably did it 40 or 50 years ago. Not very recently, because I don't ever remember us giving the president that kind of authority. But the president should not have that kind of authority. The power to tax is a power of the Congress of the United States, and it's something we should selfishly protect in order to protect the American people and the principle of representative government.
So that's regardless of who's in the White House, that's a congressional issue, not a White House.
Yes.
Got it. All right. Senator, always good catching up with you. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Right, Chuck Grassley, the guy heads the Finance Committee, calls him as he sees him.